What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Anthony Sain Show. This is, of course, your host, Anthony Sain. Joining me as usual, way across another side of the World Wide Web, somewhere in Collierville, running shit. My guy,
running shit. Running
What's
shit.
Going on, man?
Man, it's good, bro. You good?
Man, I'm making it, man. I'm sitting here at the house, man, about to pop a BC, man, just showing my age. I started taking BCs way too young in life, too. My stomach is ass at this point. I have horrible acid reflux, and I know it's because I started taking BCs when I was like a teenager. So,
man, let me tell you. Can I tell you something real quick? So,
yeah, go ahead.
My grandmother, I God rest her soul, she passed when I was in my early 20s. Was the craziest lady. She was amazing lady. Lived in Memphis her whole life. Had 8 kids, 2 husbands. Man, her husbands were not the greatest, but they were good. They were good people. I used to go to her house all the time, man, and she had this little pink pill that she used to give for everything. So, like, if I stubbed my toe, if I had a headache, if I had whatever, she always gave me this little pink pill to take. And turns out it was this pink pill called Correctol. Have you ever heard of Correctol?
It seems like I have heard that, yeah.
So the name says correct all. So, like, if you got a headache, if you got anything, it'll correct it, right?
I think I know what you're about to say, but go ahead.
Correctol was a damn diuretic, bro.
For real?
So when you talk
with the shit all your life.
So when you talk about your stomach, I say kudos. I say I'm right there with you, brother, because my grandmother fed me Correctol for my entire childhood.
Well, you know, that kind of makes sense, though, because a lot of stuff that we have going on is because of stuff with our stomach. Like, that's true.
Yeah.
Grandma man knew what she was talking about for sure. Because I drink, I don't say I drink it like it's, well, I do drink, I will drink a Pedialyte like it's water. I ain't gonna lie. I drink Pedialyte just to be drinking that shit.
Right.
And it's this other stuff. I think it's called magnesium citrate. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
you take for your stomach. Am I the only weirdo that thinks that shit tastes good as hell, bro? Like, I don't drink it. I'm not gonna drink it like it's a soda because it's a for real laxative. Tear your stomach up laxative. But that shit that is good as hell to the taste to me. But,
well, I'll tell you what, man. Over the last few weeks, I've been taking this. I got introduced to this thing called bentonite clay. You ever heard of that? And it's a natural thing that's supposed to like absorb toxins inside your skin. So like you can take bentonite clay powder mix it with like what's that apple cider vinegar.
Yeah,
you can put it on,
get you right too.
You can put it on your skin and it'll remove the toxins. Well, there's this liquid version of it. I've been drinking it an ounce or a tablespoon of it every morning, and I'm telling you, man, like,
hey, put me on, bro, because
I'll put you on.
Yeah, because it might, you know, flush everything out. Yeah, I got a lot of toxins I need to get rid of. Man.
You got a lot of parasites up in there.
Oh yeah, man, for sure. But speaking of getting rid of toxins, Kenny Stubblefield, David Jones.
Oh, wow. Whoa. What a segue, number one.
No, I don't. I mean, depending on who you look at it, you know, he may be a toxin to University of Memphis. The University of Memphis might be a toxin to him in a very dramatic fashion. David Jones, leading scorer for the University of Memphis last year, one of the leading scorers in the entire nation, decided he will be taking this challenge to the NBA. It was kind of a pending situation going on for a while. We got an early announcement yesterday, which was the announcement day that from Jonathan Givony announcing that he would stay in the draft. And then it was in Memphis fashion. What other way could we do this, Kenny? What other way could we do this other than to have there be drama with the University of Memphis? Reports started coming out by several reputable sources, including a little cryptic situation with Doc Holliday, the GOAT, right? Doc Holliday. Like we say all the time, when Doc started talking about anything they got to do with Penny and the University of Memphis, you better start listening. So, but yeah, it was reported by several people, including Bluff City Media, that, you know, that David Jones, his decision is not 100% final. There may be a chance that he comes back to Memphis. But we watched the clock, Kenny Stubblefield, and around 10:55, man, it started feeling a little bleak. You know, I text you, I said, Kenny, is there any hope? Is there any hope that we could get? You said, say in this case, silence is deadly, I believe. So,
silence is deadly, bro. Yeah, it definitely was it was an interesting kind of day. I think it took everybody surprised. Even the University of Memphis staff, I think, was surprised by the news that David was going to stay in the draft. But I mean, he kind of the writing's been on the wall, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he said it to the Daily Memphians, Drew Hill at the combine. If I get all
Any
you got
inclination that I can get, yeah.
think at me the right way, I'll stay in the job.
And I get that, man. Like, because when I would have these conversations with fans, whether it be in the exclusive Bluff City Media Discord, you also can join for $4.99 a month. I would have these conversations with Tiger fans. I was like, I hear what you guys are saying about this whole NIL thing, and he can get his money and he'll make more money here. But there's something about you only have a very short window of time to be an NBA player, right? Or be a professional player. And you can become a guy who's just gonna be a permanent college player. And there are guys who stayed that do this NIL thing, and I think it can ruin your reputation because it can make teams think, dude, you ain't trying to be a pro, man. Just take your ass to college and go, talk to 18-year-olds. Go play in the UC. You know what I mean? Like it can come off with a bad. Even though you're getting your money, man, I think it can come off bad, and not just from a personality standpoint, but also just from a basketball standpoint, man. You only got a certain amount of time to hoop, and I think that you can get caught up. I think that window is very small. I think you can get caught up in just becoming an amateur basketball player, and you can lose that window of opportunity. But I'm not upset about it at all. But I will say this, man. Last night was pretty much a capsule of kind of what that last year's season was. Ups and downs, crazy stuff, get you way up, bring you all the way down, and just odd silence at the end where the situation just kind of speaks for itself, man. And that's not a knock on David Jones. I will say, I wish the best for that brother, but it's kind of hard to even say that too, because our investment level in these transfer portal kids that we were only seeing for one season. I don't really have much investment in David Jones, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't not wish him the best, but I'm not going to pretend like
good luck. I mean,
I don't really, exactly. I don't have any interest in it one way or another. But it's just the way this whole thing is gone. It's been, whether stuff that's, above water or underwater, above ground or underground, as far as news is concerned. Yeah, man, I'm just kind of over this whole thing. Let's get this thing going. Let's see what's next for Coach Penny Hardaway. Got an announcement from a player last night as well.
Yeah.
2 nights ago as well. We're going to say that for later on in the show. For the 3-pointer, we'll talk about this young man. But yeah, because we have a very, very, very special guest coming on today. A legacy, so to speak, in this Memphis sports journalism world. And just the city of Memphis as well. Katrell Macklin is going to join us today, son of the legendary
Corey Macklin.
Corey Macklin, of course, who I was trying to think of what they called Memphis wrestling at the time. I don't even matter. We just called it Memphis wrestling. He was a commentator for Memphis wrestling. It's just one of the many faces and icons of Memphis sports during that time. If my, young adolescent age and things like that, and just looking at the timeline, Corey Macklin was a lot younger than I thought he was, you know what I mean, at the time when he was doing Memphis wrestling or whatever. But like I said, Catrell Macklin is going to join us. We're going to talk about a lot of things with him, but the main thing I want to talk to him about, Kenny Stubblefield, Catrell Macklin is a Memphis native who also happens to be a Minnesota Timberwolves super fan. And I want to talk about that with him. Talk about it, right? Hey, I listened to him on Jason and John show, and Jason's interview with him, it's going to be a lot probably more pleasant than I'm going to be, but I'm going to be on his ass a little bit. Just being honest with you, but we're going to have Catrell Macklin, who's became a phenomenon in the Minnesota market. We're going to talk about the Minnesota Timberwolves, have this whole face of the league conversation. And I'm sure he's a guy who has love for the Grizzlies as well. So we'll see what he sees going forward between those two teams. And we'll take a break. And when the next time we come back, like I said, my man, Catrell Macklin is going to join us. And we're going to talk NBA. We're going to talk some prep stuff with him. He, of course, did some prep coverage here in the city of Memphis. And I want to find out how he got to be a fan of the Minnesota Timberwolves. You'll find out that here and more on the Anthony Sain show.
I reserve the right to dump him if he gives me an answer I don't like.
Anytime. We might get you up out of here, man. And we'll talk about that and more here on the Anthony Sain show. We'll see you guys in a minute.
And I get it. Some people are like, "Oh, great addition." Some people are like, I don't care about this one. Who gives a damn? They should be aiming higher. Did we not learn a damn thing from last year?
Are there no lessons from last year?
They didn't have good team chemistry. Penny and Rick were struggling on who to put on the floor at times. You had weird rotational issues. Find guys that play roles for you. I think Tyreek Smith, I'm like high on it because I think it's an escape from last year's blunder.
Tune into On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
The Grizzlies, number nine in the NBA draft. They're picking 9th, 39th, and 57. Who they getting with those three? Go.
A veteran from around the league.
Okay.
I mean, I don't. If there's something that they could do with that 9th pick that gets them someone that's already proven, then yeah, because I don't even know who would be thought of as being the 9th best player that's coming out at this point. I have no idea who that person would be, but I know this team, in terms of for moving forward, you think in terms of winning a championship, still young enough, and you still want some pieces that are able to help you win right now, not just continue to amass for the future. For the future is right now for this team.
Tune in to the Night Court Podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show. Here with a very special guest. Very seldom do we have people that I would consider to be a legacy to the city of Memphis on the show. This brother is definitely one of those. I don't think he understands how much his father meant to my life. He's a little older. I'm a little older than you are, Catrell. So you were a child when your dad was doing his thing on WC5 Memphis Wrestling. I was a teenager. I was a teenager when Corey was on there. And yeah, man, I don't think you understand. I'm gonna tell you how much you don't understand because you might not know this. I never had this conversation with you. I actually do commentary myself for 901 Wrestling here in the city of Memphis. And every time I do it, I'm like, hey, this for my boy Corey Macklin. But it was the fact that I could see a black man in the city of Memphis doing this. Like, yeah, I can do that too. You know what I mean? Yeah. So your dad had definitely had an impact on me, man. And I talked to the people with 901 Wrestling, and I'm telling you now here on the show, if ever you're in town and you want to, I know you're a super fan out here all over the globe, but if you're ever in town and want to come to a 901 Wrestling show, you got a lifetime pass with us, bro, because you can walk in whenever you want.
Man. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate that offer, man. Yeah, that sounds good, man. Thank you for the love too, for the pops. Man, I was a kid when that was going on, so but I loved it. I was around with them all the time, man. We would go out to lunch and kind of the business meetings, get guys flying in from the airport and stuff like that. So it was cool. I got to meet a lot of the guys behind the scene before the show and everything. So that was even made it more cool. I think the biggest one for me was the boogeyman. He had the worms and everything. I met him in person. He was cool.
Yeah, if you were a little kid when the boogeyman was out, we got a nice little age difference. I was good and grown. That man was out. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure, man. And my son, he's 10, and he gets to see that experience too. He came to the first show when I actually was working for them, and he was it was different because he's there watching them put the ring together, and he's watching the guys, on a whole nother level. So I'm not gonna break character on this one. So I'm not gonna he get to see the guys at another level, But yeah, man, like I said, Katrell Macklin, son of the legendary Corey Macklin here in the city of Memphis. We can go on and on just talking about wrestling stuff, I'm sure, man. But we're gonna get into the heart of this. You have a very, very interesting story, man. I know who you are. I know who you are from doing the show Macklin to Macklin. I used to be on the same station you were on, well after you, but I paid for a little AM radio time on the station you guys were on. You and your brother had Macklin and Macklin. Great show. I used to tune in when you guys were doing that.
Wow.
Also, I know you from you went to the Olympics in Rio a few years back. It was some type of University of Memphis project you guys were doing. I remember cheering for you guys representing the city in that. And now I see
that was so much fun, dude. It was 2016, so man, you're trying to appreciate it at the same time. It was my first time out the country, but it was a weird time too, because I don't know if you remember during that time.
It was doing
a lot of water and stuff was. The water. A lot of the events that had to deal with water, they had to push them on the inside. But I'm more. I get sympathetic with certain things, especially about that Olympics, because I was there, and maybe they do it all the time, but they knocked down a ton of housing for the affordable people that were living there,
Mm-hmm.
Which made it a little tough when I was there because,
Yeah.
you know, we were living on the grounds that some people built with their bare hands.
You said it was your first time out of the country?
Yeah, first time out of the country. So I'm
imagine that getting your passport and becoming a passport bro all at the same time.
Yeah, all at the same time.
They just like, hey, that's what a way to crack the seal, man. But my guy Catrell Macklin is here. But let me get to what you're also known for. I didn't talk about the preps thing. I know you had your own prep show that you were just like I'm an independent journalist and I'm an independent content creator. So somebody like you who had such a thriving publication of your own, those type of things we can definitely give you credit for. But what you're currently in the news for is that you are a native of Memphis, Tennessee, and you are a Minnesota Timberwolves fan. Not just the fact that you're a Minnesota Timberwolves fan, but you were bombarded this city and have became a super fan, not only just on social media, but to their at the games fan base. You became a super fan. There are images of you all over the internet. You've been on all these different shows. It is just a crazy story. And like, I know who you are. We're not friends, but I know who you are. And just to see it, I'm like, man, first of all, me and Kenny were just talking before the break. I said, I want to get on this brother ass, Kenny, because it's like, because I'm not the biggest Minnesota Timberwolves fan. And I know they got Mike Conley and all that. I've shared that.
Yeah, man. Hey, they got Slow-Mo too, brother. They got
careless.
They got Josh Minott. Come on now.
Hey, really? That kid was here for about 4 months. I don't care about that either.
I was to say, man, it's running deep, man. Come on.
All right, so explain to us. I know you have several routes to why you're a Minnesota Timberwolves fan. I'm sure you're a Grizzlies fan as well. You can't not be a Grizzlies fan. But just break down to us that whole story of how you became a Minnesota fan, because I know there's several reasons why that you're connected to that team.
Man, I'm a big time NBA fan, just in general, you know. So, but it runs back with the Timberwolves thing. It's like the early 2000s for me. And like I was telling Jason, I know it's a weird story, but for me, when I was growing up, like Wally Szczerbiak was a shooter to me, and I wanted to be one of the best shooters. I set, you know, some of the records 3-point wise at Arlington before. I believe Nathan Hoover came through. He was big time. That went to Wofford. And then I think he played with the Grizzlies G League too. But yeah, during that time, like I was probably middle school. So Wally Szczerbiak was the guy that I kind of found to hip to watching highlights, watching games. And also that came around. KG was on somewhere in that mix too, was on that squad. And so that enthusiasm that I bring to the games as far as enjoying the games, talking trash, screaming back and forth. And I do that just even with Ultimate Prep. When I was doing Ultimate Prep, you know, I kind of bring that enthusiasm. I think the biggest thing is for me, like enjoying the moment. And so I think I kind of hand in hand with that with KG. So that kind of goes back to the early 2000s wise. But with Anthony Edwards and Nas Reed, like I followed them AAU circuit wise, found them high school. Ant-Man was super down to earth, like big time personality. And I thought he was going to succeed. As long as somebody got a lens on that kid, he was going to go straight to the top. So I've always thought that. The first time I seen him, I think he was playing against Damian Ball, and I think we were in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And on the outskirts, wherever that little complex is that's out there. But that man was going to work, and it was smooth work too. Like one motion, swing through, drop step, like turn around, Jay off the glass, just kicks off. And I'm like, dude, he like that. So, you know, after that, man, I just kind of followed the kid, and then kind of NBA. When I went out to Game 3 in Phoenix, I asked for the custodian to borrow basically a broom, and they gave it to me, which I didn't think they were going to give it to me, but they gave me the broom. Yeah, you know, I unscrewed the pole to it, and I'm holding the broom, man, and I'm like, y'all getting swept. And then by Game 4, when I come back, you know, they're asking me to come down to the court. They're taking pictures with me on Valley. Yeah, they're like, you're all over Minnesota, and I'm like, what? Because I'm in Phoenix, you know, I'm at the hotel around the corner. I took a scooter to get to the game, you know, the little Lime scooter. So I'm taking a Lime scooter to the game. I come to Game 4, and everybody's like, you've been all over the TVs. Let's take pictures. And I think that's where it started. And then in Minnesota, it just took off from there because Game 4, they just kept it on. Grady got my contact, Michael Grady, with the Timberwolves. And then from there, it's just kind of opened itself up. Yeah, crazy story, man. I was talking to Kenny Stubblefield, the producer of the show, about your story. And I said, Kenny, I got a brother that lives in Minneapolis who was in Prince's band, did music with Prince, performer. I said, bro, I'm telling you, hey, my show a little different than Jason and John, but I'm just going to I said, Kenny, I'm telling you,
Black men can move like Jesus in Minnesota, bro. If you got an ounce of swag, bro, I'm telling you.
You got any type of little mix, man, it's gonna make
man.
It's a little different. You know, it's a little Memphis, man.
We just got that swag like that, bro. We come in and just take over shit for real. Yeah.
It's just a lot different. It's a lot different, bro. I travel around for work too, but for play, and I like to get out of town. But you come back home and it's almost that feeling like you get off the plane and then you driving back home and you starting to see different stuff that you didn't see when you're out of town. Like, man, I'm back home. So you might be down, but at the same time, it's completely different. The swag's different, the style's different.
We go out of town and just be
the way we talk, trash talk, all of that is just when people see us, they like, where are you from?
Yeah. Like you're an alien.
Where are you from? And then I say Memphis, they were like, you don't have a Memphis accent. So, I still I grew up here, man. So all of that stuff's kind of gonna be in the mix. But I think that's kind of what put it over the top too. Because you seeing a younger African American male like dressed up, face paint and going crazy, and then talking stuff.
A whole wolf, man, a whole wolf out there.
It's just a little weird. It's a little
live green wolf, yeah. I ain't gonna lie, you killed that job though, bro. But I'm sure you're familiar. I think Ken is familiar also with the dance trend, the Memphis Ninja everywhere I go trend. Yeah, you would definitely MENEIG was a person. It definitely is you right now, man. Because you just went out there and showed out and just took over that joint like a true Memphis Ninja for sure.
I think that's when Jason said that too. I was like, I didn't think of it that way, but it kind of seemed that way.
Yeah, man, I love it. All right, let's switch it up a little bit. Like I said, I'm sure you have your allegiances to the Memphis Grizzlies as well, especially with you being a guy who's covered, Memphis Preps and things like that. When you see two budding stars who almost seem like to be on a collision course, if you were to script a movie, it would look kind of like this John Morant, Anthony Edwards story that's kind of bubbling, right? Like you kind of get this feeling like you got. I'm not saying that like Anthony Edwards is like a Drake personality, but you got this guy on top of the league right now who's Anthony Edwards. But then you kind of have the boogeyman or the Kendrick Lamar type character in John Morant, who everybody's kind of written off for. Because it's like, it's not only people praising Anthony Edwards, they're saying Anthony Edwards is the face of the league and John Morant fumbled the bag, right? So it's like, so I'm thinking like, did John die? Is he doing 10 years? Is he in rehab? Like what happened? Is John not going to play basketball in November, right? So, but I think it's setting up what could be an awesome story for both of those young men.
Correct.
Two guys that are also masters in the ninja martial arts, so to speak. Two guys who both who are martial arts masters in ninjury, so to speak. And those two guys, I just think it's setting up something that could be an incredible story. I'm throwing out things how I said the NBA should get with Nike, should get with Adidas, and say, hey, slam dunk contest. Let's throw all these bums out. Let's Nike versus Adidas. Let's go $10 million on the line. Let's drop the Nike, drop the AE2.
Might be on to something with that one.
Yeah, just listen to me though. You talk to your people, I talk to mine, bro. Listen, we could drop the Anthony Edwards shoe and the new Ja and the new Anthony Edwards, the Ja 2 and the Anthony Edwards 2. Drop them the night of the slam dunk contest and let them wear it the night of the slam dunk contest 1-on-1. And then they're gonna make that 10 million back. Winner get 10 million, bro.
They, man, they're in competition and it's a tough like they won't tell you that. But like if it get to the point where it's like Ja win and Nike take off, then it's Adidas will never.
Yeah, the pride issue of it.
And vice versa. Like think of that backwards.
If Nike take the L,
If Nike take the L to Adidas right there and Ant take the champ, like.
But we also never thought that Drake. We also never thought Kendrick and Drake would go at it too, man. So hey, bro, think about for the league, bro. If those two companies get behind the possible,
that'll push.
You know what I mean?
That'll push those guys to do it, but it's gonna be for the right amount.
Yeah. All right, so
those two ain't gonna do it unless that money talk.
Yeah.
Now Ant was able to grab another bag with him making NBA, all NBA, and all that stuff. And I know Ja has missed out on a little bit of money because of the stuff that he had going on. But I think if they got together and they got back in the dunk, I think that's the only thing that's going to bring the dunk contest back.
Yeah, I think they could take it to a level it's never been.
Randoms in there.
Yeah. And I think those two guys could take it, to a Jordan Dominique type level. You know what I mean? For sure.
Yeah, I agree. Because they're probably the most two exciting as far as when it comes to like style of dunk, quality of dunk, and then finishing. The most like finishing. The only other person I could think of is Zion Williamson. The cat with the Dallas Mavericks. He's good, but I think he's more of like a height. He's one of those. What's the guy that used to play for the Tigers? DJ Stephens.
DJ Stephens type dude, just a high jumper.
He can get up high, but I don't know what type.
He ain't got that swag.
Get into, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
But I think it is super dope, man. That like I said, we've got a guy in John Morant here who next year is gonna be right back in these talks, and I think it's good for the league, man. Like we had a discussion, we were talking about how they said that Adam Silver checked in on Ja, right? And some people were offended, like, why is he still checking out on Ja? I said, because he's checking on his money. He's trying to make sure, bro, you ready for this shit next year, right? Like, 12, you with me next year? Hey, my boy, Ja, 12ski, you ready next year, right? You know what I mean? Because for the future of the league, man,
that's what it comes down to, bro. With the league, with the NBA, Adam Silver, the front office, all those guys, they on top of their game, man.
Yeah,
I was there. My brother and I, we were able to cover in that on the Yahoo Sports. We were able to cover NBA All-Star Weekend 2013. So we were able to communicate with the NBA offices in New York and how they run stuff and how ESPN is in communication with them and TNT, and it's all one big string. So if it's being pulled from the top, it's got to make sense. They're looking for that face that's going to push the league and that's going to make them some more money. If you look at just the tickets, like my wife talked to me about that all the time. Like, so we were in Dallas. We just got back for game 3 and 4 and just looking around and looking like, all right, how much is the normal seat here? The cheapest ticket, $400 at the top, mid-level, you might be in the 7s and 8s. You go a little bit lower, you definitely in the thousands, and they get up to 15,000. These people, they got to be making $40-50 million every game. Easy. Like easy, because, after TV rights, after letting in media deals and doing sponsorships, so it's all about how much money they're going to make. They're going to push the games. But they need a face that's going to sell these tickets. So the Boston series, the Pacers, they got swept. They weren't going to push that series anymore. I don't think the NBA really even cared. They didn't send and check them out there. So nobody's really following that series, but a lot of people are following this series. You can kind of tell with Ant-Man and how many followers he's gotten just since they started blasting him out. That's been big. And I think with the face of the league, I think they were trying to give that to Ja, but all this stuff going on, they had to pull back. But I don't think they're just completely away from him.
No, by no means are they done.
Yeah, I don't think they're completely away from him either. I think he's still got that opportunity. It's just going to be up to him on how he kind of moves from here. And I was one of those people who are like, what did he do wrong? I did some of the things of, with him posting the gun and things like, I understand it, but you're also in a state where it's open carry.
Right. So what did he do wrong?
But I mean, you had
the second time he was sitting in his driveway, non-moving vehicle with his guy. What did he do?
That's what some people want to do, man. That's what so many people in Memphis doing that every day. But he got that spotlight. It's a lot of people that's looking at him. So I can kind of see it from that aspect too. And it's it's like that Gilbert Arenas situation, something like that, bring the gun to the locker room. But yeah, man, I think he's still got the opportunity to depend on
for sure
how he turns it around himself.
Well, I told you I'd get you out of here pretty fast, man. I know you're a busy man. You probably about to take a flight to Minnesota right now.
No, I got a meeting, man. I'm about to list the house. I'm doing real estate full time here, so that's what I'm doing during the day. I got clients, and my phone's been ringing, but I'm saving people money that's buying houses. Like I got a client in Houston, and I'm listing this other house, and so I'm kind of moving around. And then the nighttime, kind of turning into that typical. We'll try to find flights to the games. Stuff like that.
Big ball type stuff. Get flued in. Get flued in.
I got my AE1s up there.
Oh, get out of there.
So I'm gonna hold them, man. But
yeah, you better get flued in, man. I feel you. Hey, everybody can't do it, bro. Everybody can't do it. I'm hating, bro. I'm hating on you for sure. But
man, it's all love.
Well, as we all know, when the Grizzlies reload, we will be back on y'all ass next year. That's just
hey, man, we're gonna have another conversation about that.
Hey,
another 15-20 minutes, man. That's gonna be I'm trying to decide now, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be at the game with my green wolf outfit on.
I hear you, bro. Hey, we got seats for everybody in the grindhouse, bro, for sure. But on that note, How soon do y'all get y'all bum ass out of this series right now? Is it tonight? Do y'all go? Is it tonight the season is, or is it another day? What you think?
Yeah, man. You know, when I met up with ESPN was down in Dallas, and I told them the same thing. If they ever want to write history, it's gonna be now.
Hey,
this is the only team that can turn that around. And the folks in Dallas were scared. You know, we can put in Memphis, boy, we can make anybody believe anything. But that first page, I believe that first page of history was open. I ain't gonna lie to you.
They left the door open. They left the door open for Minnesota.
And I just give you this: Luka and Kyrie in games 1, 2, and 3, they were making shots that they normally never make. I'm talking about the bump, the between the legs, half spin, turn back around, falling on the ground, none but the bottom of the net.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, y'all making them shots, we gonna lose. But if they play like they played the other night, which is basically Luka getting about 30, Kyrie about 14, 15, and the other players filling in, they gonna lose. And that's what everybody expected. And most people in Dallas told me that they didn't think they would even get a win on Minnesota. So I think the whole series is gonna turn around. I think it's 4 straight for the Timberwolves.
Oh shit!
That's what I'm thinking.
That boy say we gonna make history in this. Hey,
yeah. If Ant said he was going back to Denver for Game 7, and he went back, right?
He said
he's coming back for 6 to give the AE1s out. That's marketing. Adidas finna. Yeah. You talk about that Adidas money. They finna push that. They got to get back to Dallas. So that's a dub tonight. So if you want fans, you might as well put a bet in, dog.
Hey, if Dallas lose tonight, that ass finna get tight. That boot hole getting tight. If they lose tonight, it's gonna be for real. Because the momentum.
Tell you.
Hey, for real.
And I'm going. I'm gonna have to go back down to Dallas.
Okay, I hear you. They gonna fly you out, big up. They gonna fly you down.
I'm gonna make a couple calls, man. You see that on Twitter, man. On Twitter, Ryan Tanky, he came up to me before the game started. He's half owner. Yeah. He was like, man, my kids love you, man. Let's take a picture.
I love your kids too, man.
Let's make some shake then, bro.
Yeah, fly my black ass down there. Come on, yeah. I love your kids too. How your wife doing? How you doing? Fly me down. Yeah. Well, Katrell, I'm gonna let you go, man.
All right, bro, man. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you, man. Hey, I ain't gonna say good luck to y'all because we're gonna be on y'all ass next year. But I'm hating. I've been hating for about the last month or so on y'all, but hey, it's all love, brother. I appreciate you coming on, man.
All love, man. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah. We're about to take a break. When we come back, it's a 3-pointer here on the Anthony Sain Show. See you guys in a minute.
Well, I pretty much thought of him as a second rounder to undrafted guy to begin with, being listed at 6'6" and then getting measured at 6'3.5". That's not going to help you at all. It doesn't change my NBA prospect, view on him too much because I already had, I don't want to say a low opinion on him, but a skeptical one for sure. Because David Jones can score with anybody, but what about the ball handling? What about the defensive IQ?
Someone could definitely fall in love with him. Especially he could easily find himself into a guaranteed 2-way deal because of his ability to score. Just come in and kind of be a lightning in a bottle type of situation. But that 6'3.5" is something I talked about last week. I didn't think he was actually going to come back and measure at 6'6" by any means. And I think it hurts him. He does have a plus wingspan, though. I guess that's a good.
Tune in to Tigers Untapped with TJ Willis and Trey Lasley every Wednesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
When I saw that Michael Cole put out a story of Adam Silver continuing his check-ins with Ja, I'm like, what the hell are we doing? Draymond Green is still kicking dudes in the nards and throwing spinning back fists in the middle of games. And for some reason, Ja Morant still needs a check-in. He's yet to hurt anybody. He's taking the right steps. Shut the hell up, dude. Like, what are we doing? It is such posturing. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, and it's gross. It was steep, and he was trying to make an example of him, and we didn't think he'd be able to stick to that. Lo and behold, by damn, he hasn't. Miles Bridges in the league. Draymond had an indefinite suspension away from, I don't even think it was actual suspension. Sorry, you knew exactly what button to push because I saw the article come out and I was like, what a cuck. It's unbelievable.
Adam Silver, the cuck.
Come hang out with Daniel Greer and Nathan Qualls on Grizz Not of City Media YouTube channel.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Edge of the Sain show, bro. I'm over here tripping, man. Cause hey, get your earbud ready, bro. Cause I know a Memphis nigga when he was some shit, when he on the bullshit, bro. Catrell finesse the shit out of these folks, bro.
He finessing the hell out of these people. What the hell?
And everybody finesse the hey, bro, hey. Memphis, hey, you see that video about Penny Hardaway, right? When we got Imani Bates.
Yeah.
The dude was like, man, bro. Man, it's a dude, I think he's from Memphis. He was a Kentucky fan. He was like, man, y'all don't understand, bro. Memphis nigga be finessing the shit out of these folks, bro. He was mad because Penny got Imani Bates, right? He was like, bro, this nigga Penny is finessing, bro. Hey, Catrell, hey, shout out to him though, man. Hey, bro, I think I need to just hit up the Pacers. Like, bro, y'all know I've been riding with the Pacers and man, Reggie Miller, bro. So person, bro.
Man, no, not even Reggie Miller. What's some random white dude that the Indiana Pacers?
Hey, I'm talking about man, Rick Smith,
Like,
bro.
Rick Smith, man, Rick Smith was my entry. Was my entry. This man said Wally Zerbiak, bro.
Hey, that shit fine though. Hey, but for real though, like on the video games and shit, Wally Zerbiak used to be cold as hell. Like, so I get it, bro, for real. Like, I get the whole Wally Zerbiak thing for real. Hey, bro, that man finessing them for. Hey, I ain't mad, bro. I'm hating, but I'm not mad, bro, for real. Cause like I said, they taking care of that, bro. It's an awesome story for sure. I need to think Indiana, Utah. Hey, man, hey, me and Thurl Bailey, man, you hear me? I was a Thurl Bailey guy.
You could
I
be
was a
the
marquee
man
fan
in Utah Jazz for the Utah Jazz organization, man. You could be that dude.
I can be that dude. Fly me out, man. Flew your boy out. Hey, cause I spent 6 weeks in Utah. For my job one time. Hey, I'm telling you, I know a black man would live like a king now. And I'm telling you from my experience, you live like a king now. But shout out to my boy Catrell Macklin, man. Hey, I can't do Boston. I think that black people been finessing Boston for the last 50 years. I'm trying to think.
You might have some issues in Boston, man.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to think of some untapped territory for a brother, man. Indiana, Utah. It might be it, bro.
I think Indiana and Utah are your best bets.
Yeah. So if y'all need a black super fan with some swag, if you're a Pacers fan,
all you gotta do is put some green paint on your nose and you're good, bro. That's all you gotta do, bro. Swaggy.
Hey, Catrell. Hey, shout out to Catrell, though. Super smart dude, super intelligent guy. Like I said, he knows who he had his own prep website here that was booming, where he was getting crazy traffic here, man. Kind of one of the OGs when it comes down to the whole, Memphis prep scene and being an independent journalist for sure. But
not to take this into a different place with it, but you were talking about Corey, and I remember his father, Corey Macklin, and I remember growing up watching and listening to him. Did you know bro was 43 when he passed?
Yeah, I confirmed that today. That's
our
age, bro. Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, but he's definitely. I heard him in another interview with Jason Smith. He was just basically talking about, man, like he really wants to, finish his dad's legacy and just affect people and just bring light wherever he goes. And just seeing the stuff he's doing with the Timberwolves, man, he's doing it. Like, what I mean? He's went to that city and it's just rallying joy in that city and rallying just,
You can't hate on that.
Yeah, I'm getting my jokes off for sure, but yeah, shout out to my boy Catrell Macklin for sure. And like I said, his dad, definitely a legend here in the city of Memphis. But it's time for the 3-pointer, Kenny Stubblefield, where we talk about 3 things going on in the world of sports. I saw some news, man, that the Liberty Bowl has broken ground, man. Out there, yeah, they're breaking ground out there, man. Hey, okay, I got a question for you.
Yep.
How are they doing anything and the season starts in a couple months?
Well, there's different phases, right? They're doing it in different phases. So, like, the first phase is going to be they're taking the press box, the media rooms, all that kind of stuff, the suites, and they're basically switching sides, right? And so the field's not being impacted, but the stands are. So, like, we're talking about the I think it's going to be I think Jonah Dillon from the Commercial Appeal was talking about it the other day. It's going to be at, like, in this season, it's going to be at like half capacity. Like, you're not going to be able to.
I heard something like that, yeah. So they're putting
they're not going to
on the other side.
They're putting the cameras, the press box, the suites. They're switching sides. Like,
so I know for years people would say our games look bad on TV because they got the cameras facing the away
visitor side, the away side. Yeah,
right. They said it's been like that forever.
Yeah, they're going to move it. So that's the first phase.
Imagine the genius back in 19 whatever year who thought, yeah, let's put the cameras on the road team, on the away team at the Liberty Bowl. Anyway,
there's a lot about that place that I think needs to it just needs to get updated, right? But
Right.
yeah, that part is so that's going to be the first phase, and I think they're planning on being done with that first phase before the season starts. Once the season starts, and I would need to do some research on it, but once the season starts, then they start doing some renovations to like the actual outlook of what the innards of the stadium look like, not the field. The field's not changing.
Yeah.
So that's when they're gonna like close off a large portion of that property.
Right.
of the stands.
Yeah.
So
There's a doomsday conversation that I don't really want to get into. This stuff about the NCAA paying players, how that could affect the non-power teams or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into that because, like I said, I see the construction they're doing with the Liberty Bowl, stuff going on with the FedEx Forum, and I'm sorry, I still have blind hope that those things will kind of keep us in the loop, in the fold, regardless of what goes down. And yeah, I still believe that one day we'll be in a major conference. So
can I just tell you that? Let me just tell you this, man. Like with the money that's coming in, the money that has come in to do these things, these renovations, all this FedEx money for NIL. Fred Smith and FedEx didn't get rich based off of a wish and a dream.
Yeah.
Like they knew exactly what the hell they were doing.
Yeah.
And so I would not be surprised if there was already some kind of an agreement in place for the Memphis Tigers to join one of those bigger conferences.
Yeah.
Once these renovations are complete. And
because I see a lot of doom and gloom. And I'm like, man, that sounds. I don't think that's based on anything. I just think people. I've seen a lot of doom and gloom on the radio, newspaper, all that type of stuff. I'm like, I don't think that's really based on truth. I think it's just fear mongering.
And it's an engagement farming thing. I mean, what the hell? Like, you write an article that says it's over for the University of Memphis athletic department. It's like,
oh, real? Wow, word.
Let me click on that word. Oh, word.
Something about paying players is not to our advantage anymore. Like, like you
now,
playing games in our backyard. I don't know.
now all of a sudden, paying players isn't a good thing. Hold on,
right?
Shit.
Hey, seems like we ought to be able to stay afloat with it. Yeah. But yeah, man. But speaking of paying players, Kenny Stubblefield, David Jones, second segue.
Yeah, man.
A second segue using David Jones of the day. David Jones, we talked about earlier, is foregoing his time at University of Memphis. He's going to stay in the NBA draft. I'm not mad at him at that for all. Like I said, go be a pro, man. It worked out for Lester Quinones. It worked out for a lot of guys. Go be a pro, whether that's overseas, whether that's in the G League or whatever. Go out there and show and prove, man. You can take the questions out of the equation. Like, don't have it where, well, can the stuff he's doing in college, can that translate to the NBA? Go to the G League and let people see what you do against other professional basketball players. Hey, and get your name, your face, and your body in the NBA arena, man. So like I said, I'm not mad at him at all for leaving at all. But let's talk about what life after him looks like. They signed a kid yesterday. No clue what this kid's name is. I'll let you, hey, as usual, shout out to Magic Johnson. I'm throwing you the pass. Tell us about this kid they got, who I don't think is going to be a David Jones replacement. It seems like more of a depth piece, more of a piece more possibly for the future, not even for this season, maybe a guy that Penny can kind of, hopefully hang on to for a couple of years. But tell us about this kid and what we may expect from him.
Well, I obviously I don't know. I don't watch a whole lot of
Portugal international
professional basketball. Like I'll be frank with you, man. Like it's not on my regular routine of things to watch, man. Portuguese basketball.
What kind of money are we paying out if we can get a kid who's a professional in Portugal to say, yeah, we come get some of this University of Memphis NIL money? Like, for real though, but go ahead though.
I just don't, this kid is, I think he's 19 years old, played for the FIBA under-20 team.
Well, he's a pro. Like he played pro ball.
He played pro ball, but I was listening to someone talk about him yesterday, and it
sounds like a violation.
Yeah, well, I mean, illegal. It's just a different version of pro. This ain't pro basketball like what we think of when it comes to like G League or NBA kind of stuff. Like this is more so like they call it pros because what's
the name played for the G League Ignite, and he was playing for Kentucky this year. So are there any rules as far as it? Dillingham played for the G League Ignite, and then he started playing for Kentucky. So I don't think there are.
Dillingham didn't play for the Ignite,
huh?
Dillingham didn't play for the Ignite.
He didn't.
No.
Where did I hear that from?
I don't know, man. Someone tripping. He came straight from. He's a freshman last year.
Oh, I'm tripping in disregard it. But
yeah. But no. So from what I understand, this kid's 6'4". 6'4". He's a athletic guard. But again, everything I've read about this kid, and again, I'll be frank with you, I don't know anything about him other than seeing.
We haven't even said his name. That's a little bit.
Daniel Vega Tuck, I think Vieira Tuck or something like that. Yeah, him.
DVT.
But so he played. Everybody calls him an international player, but his dad is actually. He was born in Texas. He was born in Dallas. His dad played overseas ball in Portugal. Met some beautiful Portuguese woman over there. Which makes sense to me, and ended up marrying her, and that's where she's at. So he lived over in Portugal playing ball because he wants to play for the Portuguese national team, is what I've been told, is what I read. And so this kid he's not a international player. He is from the United States who just so happens to be playing ball over in Portugal. But the kid is supposed to be nice. I mean, I think what I've read about him is everybody's aware he is a developmental piece, right? Like he is not somebody that I don't think is going to come straight into the college basketball game and be ready to produce. So again, like we've said, Penny has, now that with the David Jones situation playing out the way that it has, he's got 3 scholarships left, right? So if David is those 3 scholarships are going to be filled, or at least one of them now with this Daniel Vega Tuck or whatever his name is, is going to be filled by a guy who's a developmental piece. But it's being reported by Hitman Hoops on Twitter that Memphis is now associated or in close with Trayvon Brazile from Arkansas, who played 2 seasons at Arkansas. He was in the draft until last week and stepped in and came out. And then also a kid named
Calipari ain't got no room for him. We don't want to play with Calipari.
Yeah, maybe so. I think he left. I think he transferred before Calipari even got the job.
Okay.
But I might be wrong on the timing, but I think that's right. But then also a kid that I think a lot of Memphis fans are going to know and are going to be excited about is a kid named Arthur Kamala from Kansas State. Kid is 6'7", 6'8", big bodied. Kind of stretch, a 3-and-D, but can play in the post. Like the dude is nasty. And
all right, now you're describing a lottery picks, but I'm
in college he's Kansas State has been a hell of a team for a while. It's obviously where Naquan Tomlin came from. So, but yeah, man. It seems like Memphis has kind of got a little bit of a backup plan for David Jones. So
I'm with it, man. I'm with it. And Penny last year was able to get a lot of guys who were those fringe semi-pro. I call them semi-pros, guys that were, kind of a little bit too good for college, but they clearly weren't too good for college. But you get what I'm trying to say, guys who tested the NBA waters and came back. He was able to get a few of those guys last year, so I wasn't worried. I was kind of looking at that list of guys that were going to fall back into college basketball. And Penny is kind of shown to be a guy, even almost as a pioneer last year, is getting those type of guys. I just hope he's able to get the right guy or guys to come in. But like I said, best wishes to David Jones. But I'm sure Penny's going to figure the whole thing out. Number 3, super dope story when I saw this, man. And I'm saying this for so many reasons. Kenny Stubblefield, there's a new basketball league called Unrivaled. Name is dope as hell. Bro. Name is dope. And it's starting in January, Kenny Stubblefield. This is possibly happening to start playing in January. It is a women's professional 3-on-3 6-team league.
Holy crap.
Co-founded by who? 2 WNBA players, Brianna Stewart and Nafisa Collier. I'm not sure if I'm saying her name
exactly
correctly.
Right. Nafisa Collier. Yep.
All right. Like I said, man, they said that they will be paying ladies more than the WNBA is paying. But what else did I say that's interesting, Kenny? They are playing in January. They will be playing at the same time as the NBA. And I've said this for a long time, right? In the NBA's efforts to promote the WNBA, right? I've always said this. I ain't gonna say always. I really just started caring. But I've said this as long as I've cared, Kenny Stubblefield. If you want the WNBA to be good, to mimic the NBA, to be promoted the best as possible. Play it at the same time as these ladies do. And I know the reason why they do it now is because they say, well, we allow them opportunity to go play in other leagues, and then they can come play in our league in the summer. But what it does is these ladies who just finished college basketball, it looks like a summer league. It looks like you're making it look amateur because they just finished playing college basketball, and now they're playing immediately in this league. And it's been a great season so far. We've seen a lot of great things happen. But I've always said that if you partner these games alongside the same season, same time, or at least start at the same time as the guys play, or come in January after Christmas, or whatever you're doing, I think the timing of this league is perfect. And I think that these ladies this league is going to blow up, man, because they're probably really going to be able to show their skill in a whole nother level. I hope it's not gimmicky and silly like the big three is, but I think it's something where you can kind of expand their talent, but not look silly like the big three looks at times. But I think this is something that could be great. I don't think this story is getting nearly as much attention as it should, because these are WNBA players saying, we're about to make a league that's going to be competitive with the WNBA. I love it, bro. I absolutely love this idea. I hope this blows the hell up for sure. Salute to these ladies for doing this. And you, like I said, you got 3-on-3 in the 6 leagues, probably going to be 5 ladies per teams. If you can mess around and get the top 30 stars in the WNBA and put them on these teams, this might be the shit, bro. Like for real though. Because people are, especially for your casuals who have kind of reduced this to like really a stars league anyway, like the names. They're just kind of chasing the names anyway with this type of stuff. I really think this league might be crazy, bro. This might be, and these are ladies saying, you know what? We're not going to keep taking you guys middle class salary ass jobs. You know what I mean? Like, let's go make money off our own asses, bro. Like for real though. And
do you think this started with Ice Cube's offer to Caitlin Clark?
I think it might have opened up some eyes for sure. I mean, I think 100%. It'd be silly to think that it didn't. And I think that and I think some people got together and said, you know what, we can make this happen, because it's probably so minimal to get the startup going. You know what I mean? Because you got people like what happened in Vegas, right? Who the people wanted to pay the $100,000 salaries for these ladies, and they got all that hustle. Okay, hassle. All right, I got you. You know what I mean? We'll make that happen for sure. But yeah, man, like I said, great story. I love it. I'm here for it. I want to see what that turns into. But Kenny, we're about to take a break, man. When we come back, man, we're gonna jump into this thing called Inside the Same Brain, sponsored by our good friends at Create A Cig. We'll see you guys in a minute.
An anonymous NBA team member says that having the number 1 pick in this year's draft is like essentially drafting Tobias Harris.
Wow.
Which we've both talked about Tobias Harris. I like him as a player. Man, that's kind of harsh. But I understand what he's saying. You don't want Tobias Harris as the number 1 pick in the draft.
Because you look at him and you see what can be. It's just like, just need it all. Can we get it all the time? I just want to see that more. You're talking about some people with some low numbers as being high draft picks. I mean, the draft is just a lot different than what I'm accustomed to. Like, you guys that are going to be averaging 11 points, some guys averaging 9 points. You know, these guys are your top 5 draft picks for the NBA draft.
I don't know, but good luck to them.
Yes.
Dreams will come true.
Well, we will welcome them into the NBA with open arms, especially if we can pronounce the last name.
Tune in to the Night Court Podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. At Create A Cig, our top priority is to provide the best customer service experiences possible while offering the largest variety of vape supplies, legal THC products, and smoking accessories. Our trained sales associates are here to assist any and all customers to help them find the best products available. With our daily deals, weekend deals, loyalty rewards program, and our punch card program, there are tons of rewards to earn to help our customers save plenty of money along the way. Check out one of Create A Cig's 4 locations across the greater Memphis area and come visit us.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show. I said that wrong. Huh? Yeah, Anthony Sain Show. I said Anthony Sain Show.
Shane Show. The Shane Show.
Anyway, I do have my Shang-Chi shirt on. Maybe that's where I got it from. Yeah, maybe where I got it from. But yeah, man, welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show. Of course, we're here for Inside the Sain Brain, sponsored by good friends at Create A Cig. 4 area locations. You guys can check it out. You might think I've been hitting Create A Cig a little bit too much for what I'm about to say. Brevin Night Court show. We just ran a commercial for that. They were talking about Tobias Harris, right? And I'm telling you, man, there's gonna be a team that's able to, they may be close to the taxpayer threshold, who may be able to get under that, and so they can get that mid-level exception, and maybe sneak in and get a guy like a Tobias Harris. I'm not naming any names, but be on the lookout for that type of stuff to possibly be a thing. He's the butt of everybody's joke right now, but you're gonna see guys like that, especially with the way that the NBA salary cap is set up. As far as teams who really don't have money this summer, don't be surprised to see a guy like Tobias Harris go to a competing team who has the mid-level exception. So, yeah, that's all I'm saying on it. But shout out to Create A Cig, of course. 4 area locations where you can get the Sain Asylum pack. It's great stuff. Pick it up if you're a nicotine user. If you're a Delta 8 user, they can get you squared away. My man Chris is the district manager there. You may see him in any location, even if he's not there. Great staff there. Like I said, when the cat's away, the mouse will play is normally what people say. Ain't no mice playing over there at Create A Cig, man. Great staff. They'll take care of you, whether you're a experienced smoker or whether you're a novice. They'll take you by the hand, whether you want to get into the nicotine vaping or the Delta 8 experience. They can definitely help you with that. The nicotine packs comes with any wave bar, any Ursa hand kit, any 60 milliliter theory, or a 30 milliliter salt Nick juice. You can get that in the nicotine pack. The Delta 8 pack, that's the one I get all the time. Comes with the pre-roll, comes with the a disposable vape, and comes with the pack of edibles as well. I was talking to somebody else about those edibles, man. They're dead serious. Go pick those up at Create A Cig. Get the Sain Asylum pack. Get it. Ask for it by name with the great people at Create A Cig. 4 area locations. Check them out as soon as you can. As soon as you're done watching the show, go up there, grab you some, and enjoy the rest of your weekend vibing, man, chilling. Kenny Stubblefield, something I want to talk about today. I don't know what this experience was like for you, but it was a great experience for me. Something I'm not joking when I say this. This experience really, I think, crafted my life to an extent. And sometimes when I just think back to just certain memories as a kid or as an adolescent, you know, like this particular experience always comes back to me. And the experience that I'm talking about is summer camp, Kenny Stubblefield. We talked off the air, and our summer camp experiences were a little different. They probably were a lot the same, but they were different in title. You know what I mean? I was a product of what was at the time. I don't even know if this still exists. I know it did when I was an early adult because I was about to work for one. But there was something through the Memphis Park Commission where they had Memphis Park Commission summer day camps, right?
Right.
And I lived in the Longview Heights area, 38106, and I was a proud student of the Pine Hill Community Center day camp, right?
Yep.
And this thing, I want to say doors open maybe at 7 or 6:30 or something like that, and it ran from early in the morning until I think I remember my parents picking me up around 5:30. You know, so you got this full, long, hot day experience of summer camp, right? And we'd be outside, and you would bring all the kids had they would tell you to get like your little thermos like this, you know, put your water in.
Yeah.
And they had water outside, and this is back when we actually played outside. And we were introduced to all these different games, all these different sports. And they taught us square dancing. Like it was just it was just a super dope experience, bro. Where you just, you know, interact with all these kids, girls, guys, and then like the Memphis Park Commission food truck would come out and feed us.
Yeah.
Didn't know they were doing the whole, you know, pay for food thing where somebody was getting paid, where, you know, the Park Commission was getting this funding to feed kids free summer lunch or whatever. We were eating that food all the time. And it's just I just sit back, I just think of so many memories, friends I had, basketball tournaments and Uno tournaments, and, you know, learning how to play card games that I never played before, and learning how to play board games I never played before. and just learning all this cool stuff. And it was just super fun, man. It was just all black kids in the South Memphis community, man. And I just remember and Gangsta Black. You remember, the rapper Gangsta Black?
Whoa.
You remember him?
Yeah.
He was one of the counselors. I remember he was like you're talking about probably a teenager at the time. Might have been 19 or something. He was one of the counselors back then. Wow. And I just remember it being a super, super fun experience, man. Like I said, that I think definitely crafted my life. And it's funny because there's this game we used to play. And I remember this game, like I would play this game right now. It was called box hockey. You can look it up online. It's called box hockey. And when I go on Jason Smith's show, I credit myself as being, the Pine Hill Day Camp box hockey champion. Super fun game where you're sitting in like this little thing that looks like a sandbox, and you're supposed to play it with like hockey sticks and like a little rubber ball or whatever, right?
Yeah, man.
But in the hood, those things are not available, or they were stolen. Like so those devices were not available, right? So we would play this game with sticks and bottle caps, and we would look out in the park and we would find just random bottle caps to be because people would drink a soda, throw the bottle, or throw the bottle cap somewhere, and we would go get a real. It was the better the bottle cap, the more fun it would be, right? So we'd get a good bottle cap and a stick, and we would play this game. We would play it for hours, man. And I just remember just like the simplicity of time back then, and just how dope those summer day camps were. And I remember the flyer that came out to my school as a little kid, and being happy to take it home to my parents. Like, I want to go to this.
Were you?
Yeah, and it was so dope, man. Like it was the greatest thing in the world to me every summer, especially because the camp was broken off into 4, 5, and 6 year olds. Then it was 7, 8, and 9, and then 10, 11, and 12. And I remember like graduating into the 10, 11, and 12 group and being a big dog in camp, you know what I mean? But it was so fun, man. Then it was like, and once you were done with summer camp, that's when you knew you were officially old enough to stay at home by yourself. Like that was like, once you were done with 10, 11, and 12 summer camps, all right, next summer I stay at home by myself, man. And it's one of those things where I know it was a convenience to my parents because I want to say, like I said, it was all day long. Like you could my parents dropped me off in the morning and then pick me up until 5, 6 o'clock. You know what I mean? And like these camps nowadays, man, they're like half a day and they're super inconvenient. It's like, bro, if I got to do half a day, I gotta be off just to take you to camp. And they're like a week long, and man, these camps ran. And we went to the pool every week. We went to the skating rink every week. And when we did the camp for the organization I work for,
right, same with me.
I kind of mimicked some of the stuff we did in those summer day camps.
Absolutely.
I wanted those kids to get those same type of experiences of the stuff we did, and we just went to all these dope field trips all the time. Places don't even exist in Memphis anymore, man. And it was like
Adventure River,
dog,
Mayfield,
Funplex. You remember Funplex, bro?
Did you ever go to Mayfield?
Mayfield. That name sounds super familiar.
The lake where you could go and just swim. Oh, bro.
Nah. See, you went to a different camp than me, kid. You went for camps that were sponsored by the Lord Jesus Christ.
I went to camps where we actually had the hockey sticks and the balls.
Yeah, exactly. Y'all played the real deal, Joy. Yeah, y'all locked y'all stuff up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we had chains around it.
No, actually, y'all probably didn't have to. Y'all probably had y'all stuff sitting on a nice little shelf somewhere, and everybody knew to take things back where they went.
Be nice.
But yeah, man, that was a super fun experience for me, man. And I just wanted to share that. Shout out to all the parents who are looking for something for their kids to do, because it's just a totally different experience now. And then, man, it's like people are so sick and so weird. A regular background check don't work. I doubt very seriously they did background checks on anybody back then, man. I'm not saying nothing happened back then, but we just live in such a different time, man. You don't even trust your kids or strangers anymore, especially when you're talking about teenagers, basically. That are because I remember it was people that were pretty young. So like there was people that were maybe 18, 19.
Yeah.
Probably younger than that, because people were doing it as a summer job to work there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, these
back
kids,
in the day,
kids probably actually kids. And I probably thought they were grown. They probably were children. But
something happened, and I want to know when it happened, but something happened. The city of Memphis stopped doing those things for a while, right? Like I wonder, because I know they kind of turned over those kind of summer camps to like more of the nonprofit crews that that run in the city. Like
YMCA has jumped into it now.
The YMCA, I know the company that I used to work with took over some of the community centers, right?
Yeah,
and then
we did our camp with you guys. Yeah,
we kind of collaborated together and did our camps together. Those things are always, man, like there's just something about having a place for kids just to go and just be around each other, be kids,
Yep.
man.
It was so fun, bro.
Simplicity to it, but there's also like really good. It's a really good thing for kids, man. So yeah.
It wasn't like no Boy Scout stuff, learning to tie a rope and going out and fishing and all that. It was just like, bro, we just did hood stuff, bro. And it was freaking super fun. Like,
did you ever do Pinewood Derby?
Is that the mud derby thing?
No, it's where you carve out you take a block of wood and you carve it into
we were doing hood stuff. We never got to that part.
Carve out and turn it into a car, and you had to weight it properly, and you would race the cars. You didn't
you talking about the no. I know what you're talking about, but no, we didn't do that. Maybe straight hood stuff. I did learn how to eat. And I was kind of a snobbish kid at the time. I was poor as hell, but I still had kind of rich taste when it came down to stuff.
Bougie taste with the you had as our boy Lionel Hollins used to say, a wine taste with a beer budget.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't even think I had a root beer budget probably.
Root beer budget.
But I just remember eating like crap sandwiches and lunch with other kids that was in. Like, who are these poor kids up here? I was broke just like they ass was. You know what I mean?
Like,
just didn't know I was living in poverty. But I just remember stuff like we would get like a delicacy in camp was the super donut was a delicacy for sure. You would get the oatmeal cookie and you'd take the cheese off of your sandwich. And we would make like these weird trays, right? Like, man, give me a slice of cheese for a mustard. Give me your cheese for extra mustard, right? And like we'd take the cheese and put it on top of the oatmeal cookie, and it was like a delicacy, bro. And I just remember like the little frozen juice bar things.
Yeah,
man, I'm getting emotional thinking about it, bro. Like,
what does Gabe do? What does Gabe do in 2024?
Man,
like,
Gabe is playing a PlayStation right now. Like he's at his mom's house because Stephanie lives with her parents, so he's there playing. But he's going to football camp. And that's what really made me think about it because, like, I think my parents might have paid $50 or something, like a whole summer of camp, right? Like we're paying like $300 for Gabe for a week of football camp at CBHS. So yeah, man, it's
our kids grow up a little bit different. Our kids grew up a little bit different than the way we did,
right? And you remember Sabrina, my oldest daughter, who's 22 now,
right?
She was at the camp we had we were doing,
Yeah, I remember Sabrina.
I think that probably just exposing her to like different kids, you know what I mean? Because the kids we worked with in the inner city were different than the kids she went to school with. I think it was good for her, even as a little girl, to be around, just different kids like that, man, for sure.
It was those times, especially for us, that we got to really know our kids well, right? Like,
in the summertime, especially the older kids that we worked with during the year. They had to be counselors for camp. Like that was
You would bring in those kids, those more like we used to call them faithful kids, but like the more faithful kids, the high schoolers you bring in our Timothys.
Our Timothys, yeah.
you bring them in and let them and that was dope because like you would see like leadership tendencies coming out of them.
And they was like, Mr. Sain, I see why you said this now, or
they're yelling at the kids like
you see why, you see it now, right? But and that helped them, man, especially the ones that we were able to put some money in their pocket for sure. But man, I'm over getting emotional, man. Just say, man, I wish just take me back to a simple time, man.
A simpler time, man.
We would sit out in like dangerously hot ass sun, man, for 8 hours, bro.
You ain't lying.
I can't do that shit for 30 seconds.
No, I'm out. Yeah, man, I was at a soccer field. I was at a soccer field this weekend for about an hour, and I was like, man, I'm melting, bro. Get me out of here. What are we doing?
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, man, it's been a great show today, man. Shout out to my guy, Katrell Macklin. Great interview with him. Go Mavs though. I ain't gonna lie. Get y'all ass out of here, man, for sure. Get y'all bum ass out of here, Minnesota, for sure, man. But
this man,
the finesse guy,
this man. Hold on, I gotta say something else, okay? This man said that Dallas was up 3-0 because Kyrie and Luka were hitting lucky shots, bro.
Hey, I ain't gonna get into it. I let him get his shit off. Yeah, I let him get his shit off. Hey, y'all would have got y'all ass swept from Carl into the town. Sorry ass, and turned into Dirk Nowitzki the other night.
Exactly. What are we talking about, man?
Hey, I get it though, bro. Hey, I get it.
No, Derek Lively didn't play that game. That's why y'all won that game.
Kenny, this is what you got to understand too. His father was a legendary Memphis wrestling commentator. You got to stick to the gimmick, man. You got to stick to the gimmick. Yeah, man. Hey, for sure. But for Kenny Stubblefield, this is Anthony Sain. Hope you guys have a great weekend, man. We'll see you guys. Hey, next week is going to be a great week. I got a very special guest coming on Wednesday.
Dog, this is going to be wild.
I ain't even going to tell y'all who this guest is.
Y'all got to tune in on Wednesday.
Yeah, you got to tune in on Wednesday. Very special guest. And then episode 100, man, is coming up next Friday. Got a very special guest for this. Someone who has not been on the show. I've been saving his brother to come on to the show for episode 100, man. It's going to be a great week here on the Anthony Sain Show. Like I said, but for Kenny Stubblefield, this is Anthony Sain. We'll see you guys next week. And we out.
Thank you for listening to the Anthony Sain Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. For comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports, head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co and find out how you can become an insider. We will see you back here next week.